Hi Libra, welcome to your monthly reading. I'm Ashley Rose and this is your monthly reading for January 2021. Happy New Year. This reading we are going to be pulling 7 cards for the overview of your month, an oracle card, 3 cards for your love life, 3 to clarify, and then we will end with an affirmation card. This year is 2022, so 22 is the master number of the builder. So anything that we are putting our energy to create, to build for ourselves this year is going to have a solid foundation for us to really cultivate this abundance, this security, the things that we've been working on. It's all kind of coming to, like, everything we've gone through the past couple years is coming to this point where it's all aligning for us and for us to build something really great and, really fruitful for our future. We start the month January 2nd with a new moon in Capricorn, and I love that it comes up because this new moon in Capricorn is going to help us. Well, first off, new moons are a fresh start to the lunar cycle. It's a time to set new intentions, come up with new game plans, kind of reflect on what we're doing and fill our cup back up with, our vision of the future. So I love that Capricorn comes in, especially at the beginning of the year, because it's like this fresh start. Literally, like, we start with a new moon, it's like a fresh start in the year. And like new year, new me, but like new year, authentic me. And it helps us come up with the plans to, get rid of the things and not think about the things that no longer, that are no longer working in what we're doing. And now we're going to put in place what can work, right? And then we go into Mercury Retrograde, January 13th. And I really don't think that this retrograde is going to be something that's too scary. It's going to be something that we kind of are dealing with internally, because this first month of the year really kind of puts us in a really good place moving forward. It kind of like walking into 2022, it's like I keep saying it's like we're waking up from a deep sleep where, you're like, oh my God, where am I? And that's kind of how we feel. And we're getting all of these things kind of put in our lap by the universe so we can really see, or just like put in our lap and seeing the true vision of what 2022 could really be for us. And it's a little overwhelming at first, but we're getting all the pieces to the puzzle and we're starting to kind of make sense of what the puzzle even is and what we can do with it. I mean, literally, like, the sky is the limit this year, and especially with this Mercury retrograde, with all the insight that we're going to gain from this new moon, Mercury retrograde comes at a perfect time because we're going to start putting those pieces down, and then Mercury retrograde comes for us to kind of go back in again and reflect. It reminds me of the Hermit in the tarot, where it's like going back in to, connect to your light, connect to your purpose, to connect to what drives you and what motivates you forward. And so that way, when Mercury goes direct, we can hit the ground running with all of these new ideas that we have. Venus is also in retrograde. And so our relationships are kind of getting a makeover. So watch yourself during this time, because Venus retrograde, don't be making any rash decisions in your relationships, but it will be common to see people be getting out of them because we are becoming aware of maybe bad behaviors, patterns, things like that. And it's time to kind of turn a new leaf, especially with this in this year, and keeping that in the back of our head of what are we wanting to build. So we're in relationships that aren't exactly, what we thought we would be in or what we want to be, and maybe it's time to start and build something new. And we're getting that insight from this Venus retrograde. Jupiter is in Pisces this year. Amazing. Jupiter is the lucky planet, and Pisces is the sign for, dreams and inspiration, the spiritual side to ourselves. And if you haven't watched my what's to come in 2022 video, major themes to happen this year are balance, harmony, our relationships, and then our connection to our spirituality. And it's like, yes, spiritual, but really what I mean by that is like the connection to ourself and our spirit, and deepening that, and by strengthening our bond with ourself and leaning in on our spirituality, that's going to be the best way for us to receive all of this information this year on how to really bring our dreams into life, because with Jupiter being in Pisces, it's in the planet, to have the lucky planet, in Pisces, which is in the sign for, our dreams and our spirituality, using them together, we're going to find a lot of luck in that. So take advantage of like what the universe has kind of like at our fingertips right now. It seems a little overwhelming. The energy is new. So if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling like you're going down a wrong path, I really want to say like, no, you're not. It's just that this is the unknown. And the unknown is scary if you don't know it or if you're unfamiliar with the unknown. But it's a very abundant place, let me tell you. Well, I keep saying but I'm so excited to get going on your reading because, whoop, and the cards are as well. Okay, I love this. Let's get going. We start off this month, it's really interesting, we start off this month with Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands, and it's kind of exactly what I was saying, like we walk into this year a little groggy, a little unsure, like December might have thrown us for a loop. We're going through the end of December, the start of Capricorn season was really like tying up any type of karmic loose ends, and karma coming around to kind of weigh the scales back down and putting everything to balance before we enter this new year. So we could have gone through some things that make us feel like our energy is tapped out. We are not feeling inspired. We are not feeling connected to our creative energy in what we came here to do, and we're feeling a little just like, okay, well now what's next? And I love that the Ace of Wands comes because it's like in this surrender to like not knowing what's going on, and then the surrender to the unknown, we get this inspiration where the universe is like, thank you, that's all I needed you to do. I just needed you to stop trying to figure it out, to create, because Libras are all about balance. I mean, you are about balance. So balance is something that you should not understand, but is like right up your alley, right? Maybe we're feeling a little unbalanced, or just trying to like stop trying to control the balance in your life and allow it to like happen naturally. Stop trying to control and create the beauty, just be the beauty type of energy. And this Ace of Wands comes in, it's like, here you go. Here's what you needed. Here's what you asked for. And I just needed you to get out of your own way. Because that's maybe what was happening. We were getting in our own way of what we could do, what we could create, and we tapped our own energy out. We have the Two of Pentacles here, and that's a relationship between our choices and between the way that we create stability and security in our life. And he has these, look, all these signs of balance in your reading are pretty funny to me right now. And he's like weighing these options out. He doesn't know what to do, and there's these waves in the back, but it really is just saying like we can handle anything that comes our way. So even though we start this month off, not feeling really like in our energy or in our power, we are starting to open up and believe and trust that we can handle what's on our path for us. We can handle our journey, and we, have that relationship with ourselves where we are Libras, right? So we are trying to bring in that balance. We are creating that balance to do that, to not feel extreme about things that happen, understanding that your journey back here, because there's a little boat on these waves, right? There's two of them, that this journey is going to have ups and downs, right? But I keep myself stable. I keep myself balanced. I can juggle whatever comes my way. And that's important to remember, especially because you have a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of pentacles, I guess there's two, but there is just this this is like energy to trust where you're going and open yourself up again, because at the middle of the reading you have the Four of Pentacles. He's kind of known for being the martyr. He's sitting here and he is keeping everything that he owns so tight, so close, so locked in, because he's so scared that somebody's going to take it away. And he's, your stability is going to crumble, because 4 is the number for stability, structure, security. And, he's closing his heart off. He's closing his crown chakra. He's keeping his feet planted. He's too scared to move. And in this year, when there's possibilities and opportunities to create everything we've ever wanted, we can't be scared. And so This energy is what we're going to be moving through. And that's why it's important to know and remember that you can handle anything that comes your way, and you can handle this process of opening yourself up to what the universe has to offer you. It's hard. It's not easy. But for you to have that love, that beauty, that joy in your life that Libras thrive off of, you have to open yourself up a little bit more, because your desires and your want for your desires are keeping everything too closed up, and you can't create out of a closed heart. Your heart has to be open and flowing, right? Because he's got this black little cloak around him. And even he's like outside the kingdom, so he keeps himself outside from everybody, away. It's time to come back, to connect, disconnect from connection, or connect from disconnection. Those words aren't coming out wrong, but leave disconnection behind and come back and connect. That's all I'm trying to say, because there's a lot that everybody can offer. And again, that's talking about that theme of relationships. We are really going to learn this year that we can get a lot by connecting with others, and that, you know, it is that we can reach our goals together through connection. We have King of Cups and then the Wheel of Fortune. Come on. I love this. This is our dreams. This is our, you know, our emotions, our intuition leading the way, guiding us, trusting where we're going and trusting our path, trusting that the universe is on our side and everything's starting to turn in our favor, right? We had to go through that karmic shift at the end of December so we could be in this place where you're finally understanding the lessons that the universe is trying to teach you. And it's like this aha moment. And maybe this happens during Mercury Retrograde, because you know, Mercury Retrograde is not a time to do anything. It's really a time to reflect and, you know, gain insight from the universe, to observe with what's going on around you and have these aha moments. So I'm gonna say you're gonna get some during Mercury Retrograde, because look at this King of Cups. Like, he's sitting here on this stone throne in the middle of water, and he's just floating. And like, and I feel like this is Jupiter. This is also Jupiter presence in your life, because, you know, this is like magic. He's sitting there, he's floating like magic, and things in your life are just kind of going to happen like that. I'm talking like, that's what I mean, like Jupiter and Pisces, like just luck, magic. You can't really explain it, but things are happening and everything's working for you. And the Wheel of Fortune is numeral, looks like the Roman numeral, what was that? The Roman numeral looks like an X, and that is like a symbol for a crossroad. And we are at this crossroads coming in out of Mercury retrogrades. You're at this crossroad where you can see the different paths in life. And we have that ability this year at the beginning of the year to really see all of the possibilities that this year can take us. And it's our choice where we want to go, but we have all these elements working together. We have our communication, we have our, you know, our security, we have our emotions, we have our energy, our power. It's all teamed up. It's all working. Your mind, body, and spirit are all working in one to bring this to you. And we come at the end of the month, we have the Five of Cups in reverse. And I love that, because that means that you let your grief go. You know, wiped the fog out of your glasses, and you're opened your eyes to all the things that are actually in front of you, and all the beauty that is, you know, ready for you to play with, ready for you to create, the dreams that haven't gone away, and everything is actually right here. Because when he's this way, he's got a black cloak on him. He's, you know, stricken with grief. He can't see any other possibilities, because the dreams that he's worked for, they've spilled over, and nothing could be better than this moment. And when we reach this, again, surrender. I feel like that's a big surrender is a theme for you specifically this month, because when we surrender, we allow ourselves to be free from the things that kept us, you know, stuck in that mindset, stuck in this, you know, black cloak of invisibility, of like nobody seeing me, of being, you know, caught up, tied up, holding everything so tight, afraid of what could happen. And when we open it up, I love that this is 4 and 5, so we're going forward. And at the bottom here, we have the star. And so allow your light to shine. That's the shadow, that's the background of this whole reading for your month, is allowing yourself to be the star in your life, allowing your light to shine, for you to nourish your body spiritually, or nourish your body physically, nourish your spirit, and just find and cultivate that balance. It's going to be super important for everyone, but even for you, because again, you're Libras, you're about balance, you're about keeping the scales, you're about listening to your intuition and trusting the thoughts that you're receiving in regards to your desires. And then our oracle card is trust your path. If you knew you were supported, what would you do? So ask yourself that question, write it down. Maybe that's what we're thinking about during Mercury retrograde, and you understand that you have that support. You think you got it. It's like this, I keep it in like a very hippy dippy way. It feels like the universe is like hugging us, is like in a hug. Like we are secured through the things that we are, like the stuff that we're going through and the things that are coming up right now are happening for a reason, and happening for us to trust our path and trust where we're going. Because you're going, like even like this, he's got like, I don't know, this reminds me of like an alien coming down to like laser beam you, but it also reminds me of like ascension and awakening. So you're allowing your energy to rise, you're allowing your understanding to deeper, and you're allowing your awareness for what you're doing to be more clear and have more clarity in your life. And just again, it's trusting where you're going, trusting the decisions that you're making, knowing that you're going to be okay with whatever path that you take, but take the one, take the one that's in favor of your desires and your dreams. Now we're going to move into your love reading. We have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Everything is fine. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. The Emperor. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. 5 of Wands. So we have some things that we're working through here when it comes for our love life. When we have express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Everything was fine. I feel it's the same as like keeping our heart closed off here with this like martyr, 4 of Pentacles in the middle. We're learning to express our love. We're learning just to express, I think, our feelings in general, and stop thinking that when we do that or everybody else has judgments or negative things to say, everything is fine. And the stuff that the anxiety that you have is like you're kind of making it up in your head. And I don't mean that as like I don't mean that in a negative way to you, but like it's fine. So allow yourself to be who you are. Allow yourself to express yourself authentically, and watch the relationship that can come into your life from this authentic place. And then we have forgiving and learning, the Emperor in reverse. As you heal, as you release and heal the past, the present, the experience, you experience more love in the present. That's literally what I was saying. We're working through that. And the Emperor, I feel like, is somebody that's very hard. He creates space. He gets rid of everything that doesn't make sense to him, but he's in reverse in this. And this is not like, this is us looking at our past, right? Looking at the things that we need to forgive, looking at the things that we need to learn, and not just, getting them out of our life because we don't want to deal with it. It's like actually staring at it in the face and dealing with the problems and the things that we have a hard time with, because we want to have that good relationship in our life. We want to have something that is meaningful, that we can express, that we can be our vulnerable self, that we can shine our light, right? And so it's something that we're working on this month. I don't really feel like people are necessarily coming into our lives, but if we're in relationships, we could be deepening them in another way of allowing our insecurities and our anxieties to go away. We have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world, the 5 of Wands. I'm going to talk about this as being Mercury retrograde, time to go in and, battle. Like go in, but not like battle with yourself, but kind of get out those thoughts, those behaviors, those habits that kind of spark all of this stuff, right? And it's really just you doing that internal work this month when it comes to your love life, right? This Venus retrograde work, that's why all that's coming up. 5 of Wands is like trivial conflict. So you are kind of testing your strengths, testing what's going on. And so you're testing the waters of the things that you're learning within your relationship with yourself, within your relationship with other people. And that could be like, that could be platonic for now, or we could be bringing in, some good relationships, but trust your gut when it comes to that, because Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde are happening, and it's usually not great times to get into relationships. But if it feels right and you feel ready, be honest with yourself, then take the step. But really just give yourself the time to learn and grow and move through these past experiences that have been clouding our relationships. So I'm going to get into our affirmation. If you'd like to know more about me, you can check out my website. That's ashleyrose.com. You can follow me on Instagram. The links are in the description box for those. Thought I was gonna jump out there. All right. And we have believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming even when I can't see the result. Yes, literally. Believing in my spiritual guidance gives me freedom. Trust the path. Even when I can't see the result, that's what's going on here. We can't see it. I love that. Keep dreaming, Libras. Keep dreaming. I promise. I can't wait to see what 2022 has in store for you, and I will see you in the daily tarot readings.